welcome back to All 4 Overland and episode 7 of Overland Garage. The dismantling continues. Got a new toy to play with. We've got a brand new engine crane, nice new 2-ton one. I've had exactly the same one before and I sold it because I didn't think I'd need it again. I've had to go out and buy another one. So yeah, we've got a brand new crane to help tear that engine and box out. But I think first we're probably going to start by pulling off lots of the small stuff, shocks, well, just the small stuff, everything needs to come off. I haven't really got a plan for the teardown at all. Like I said, just going to get all the bits off. Obviously the biggest thing we've got to get out is the engine and box, but I think I'm going to start by pulling the shocks. Yeah, let's just get tools out and start spannering, eh? Still a big job. Shock towers have got to come out because they're going to be in the way, so shocks and shock towers. I think that's just going to be the first thing I'm going to rip off. Right, impacts, long sockets. This is definitely where impacts come into their own. Because they're a pain to do without an impact. Right, that's that freed up. The other problem is keeping a track of all the bits. I really could do with being about 6 inches tall. Or start working on minis. Can't get on that one. That's weird. That back nut's actually a different size. It's 14mm and the rest of them are 13. No, it isn't. I just can't get a socket in there. I'll have to do it with the spanner. Joy. Right, now you can carry on talking. You are still on camera, but... Guys, it's Mark. He's rung up to say that his truck isn't broken. So you can tell them that it isn't. Go on.
It's not broken. I watched that. It's called being modified, not repaired. It's being modified.
So there you go. It's been modified. Right, I'll carry on with my conversation. Well, I'll pull this apart in a minute. Well, I've just finished talking to Mark, and while I was doing that, I found out why the socket didn't fit. There was a stone stuck behind the back of the nut. That's why I couldn't get it on. That's easier. Beats a spanner. Definitely beats a spanner. There we go. Right, I'll collect all the missing bits now. Well, I've just made a hasty retreat indoors. It's absolutely chucking it down again. You can tell it's a bank holiday, can't you? Stop raining. Wow, it has just hammered it down for about 45 minutes and the sun's out again now, so I can get some more work done. Both of the shocks are out. They're over there behind me, so I'm going to drop the prop off and just keep dismantling in between the rain. I think it's almost beer time as well. Well, thought I'd try to get the exhaust bolts off, which normally come off really easily, but because the truck hasn't been running for a while, these have rusted on solid. so I've had to resort to fire. We're going to get these red hot, see if they'll come off. Exhaust's already glowing bright red, so it's hot. Right, I'll go underneath and see if we can break it loose, eh? Oh, don't mind, I've got 3 of these to do. And this is the easy one. It moved a bit. I hope they're not all this difficult. That's one. Well, that's one. What you've got to remember is when you take them out, don't grab the nut because it's red hot. Luckily, I remembered. Right, I'll just see if the other 2 come out. Never had that much problem getting them out before because obviously we've taken this engine apart a few times, but it just hasn't been run. So they've not thermocycled and the rust has built up. We'll get them red hot. We'll get them off. I got it. One stainless steel downpipe. Well, I've got all these bits off, guys. I told you to reach beer time. So I've got the shocks off, got the exhaust off, got the towers off, got the front RTC off. I've also undone the rear A-frame. That's just all finger tight now. That came off really easily. Ted's back to his normal self, by the way. He's fine again, aren't you, mate? And I'm not going to do any more today because it looks like it's going to chuck it down again. My glasses are filthy. And I really don't want to try getting the engine out while it's raining. It says it's going to be a lot better tomorrow. So it looks like it'll be engine out tomorrow, which will be in the next scene for you. So 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! It's the next day. It's actually quite late into the next day. It's actually afternoon. I've had a lazy Sunday morning. I've had a change of plan as well. I'm not pulling the engine out first. I'm going to drop the gearboxes out just because they're the most difficult bit to do. I'm going to split the transfer box off, then pull the main box. I'm doing it on my own, so it's really difficult as well, so that's going to be fun, isn't it? I'm not going to film much of pulling the gearboxes out because it's really hard to film being underneath the truck. You can't get the camera in and there's just me here. So I'm going to pull them out first. I'll show you what I've got to pull out on the inside. Basically just the gear stick and everything's got to come out. Let me just show you. Yeah, so I've just got to pull these boots out, disconnect the gear linkages underneath from the high-low and the gearbox, drop all that out, then I'm just going to drop the boxes out. I've already done the prop shafts. Go under the truck, just show you what I'm doing. Rear prop shaft's already gone, so that's easy. I've got to disconnect the handbrake because it's got an ex engineering handbrake on. Split that transfer box. I've still got to pull the front prop shaft, and I've got to pull that gearbox. Drop this gearbox member out, so I might as well do all that first before I even attempt to get the engine out. So I'll just leave the engine in place sitting on the, well, I'll have to probably end up securing it somehow, because once you drop it off from the gearbox, the engine wants to drop backwards on these because there's only 2 mounts. But yeah, that's my plan. So I'm going to get these out. I'll show you when they come out. It'll be much easier when I'm putting them back in the new chassis, because everything's going to get dropped straight into the new chassis. So I want to get these, get them out, get them cleaned. And there's something else we've got to pull out as well. Once we get the engine out, power steering's got to come out as well. A lot of stuff to come out. Transfer box is out. That was fun on my own. Well, actually my brother turned up just at the right moment when I was dropping it to the floor. He operated the jack for me. But when I was disconnecting it, besides breaking the breather pipe, which I forgot to disconnect, but that's easily repaired, when I was taking the gear linkages off, like your high-low and diff lock, the diff lock nut, which is this one, I'll get the camera in, but you can actually see where it was only screwed on to there, because you can see where the dirt's on the thread. How that's been working, I don't know. You just get the camera, I'll show you how far up the thread that was. I must have just forgot to bolt it on when we last put it in, which is nearly 3 years. Must be nearly 3 years and it's not been bolted on. Now if you just look at that, if I undo that nut, that's where it was. The clean bit of thread is how far the nut was down, and then the rest of the thread, if I take the washer off, is where it wasn't bolted on, so it just was not tightened up. That's insane. I'm literally, that's where it was when I undid it, because I was going to take it off with a spanner and I just took it off with my fingers. Mad. I don't know how that's been working, guys. I really don't. So right, I'm going to pull the gearbox out now. Gearbox out. That was a chore. I forgot how hard they are to do on a Disco. They're a lot harder to do on a Disco than they are a Defender, because at least with the Defender you can pull the tunnel out. Hello, Ted. You get down. This yeah, I've lost my train of thought now, guys. Yeah, these are a lot harder to do. We ended up putting the engine crane through the gear shift hole, putting the rope through and basically suspending it off that and pulling it off. But I am thinking now, needy dog, even though the clutch that's in this isn't that old, I'm trying to think how old the clutch is. Not that old. Probably 2-3 years old, probably done 10-12,000 miles, but smells really burnt. It's been worked hard, so I'm thinking, while it's all apart, do I get an LOF clutch and put a heavy duty LOF clutch in it? To be daft not to, really, want it while it's apart, as it's so difficult to get apart. The other thing is, I had to change of plan. Come with me, and you. I'm leaving the engine in for the time being because should be getting the new chassis back tomorrow. Well, I've got to go and fetch it, but it's done. Well, I hope it's done. I'm going to ring them in the morning. It's Bank Holiday Monday today, so I actually know that they're open because they're open 7 days a week, but I'll ring them tomorrow. If the gearbox, if the chassis is done, I'll start taking the bits off this and putting them straight onto the new chassis. Like I'll drop this onto axle stands with the frame, pull the axles out, put them straight onto the new chassis, make that a roller and just build it all up. It's just easy. It saves me having big piles of parts everywhere. So if it's done and we're fetching that tomorrow, I'll just pull this engine and swing it straight into the new chassis, because there's nothing to do with the engine. It's done. It just wants swapping into another chassis. So yeah, hopefully get the new chassis in the morning. The chassis is back, guys. I'm just picking it up right now. So there it is on the trailer, and it looks amazing. So big thanks to Stoke Galvias. They've done an amazing job like they normally do. Can highly recommend them. So let's get this back to the workshop. Wow, I can't believe how much this chassis has changed since we picked it up. It looks amazing now. Completely one-off as well. But the galvine, like I was saying before, absolutely spot on. They've done a lovely job of the galvine. So my job now, start reassembling it. No doubt I've got like 1,001 holes I'm going to have to drill because I'll have to enlarge all the bolt holes. Hello, Ted. What do you think, Ted? Yeah, we've come a long way in a very short time with this job. Right, axles, cross member, turn it into a roller. What do you reckon, Ted? Yeah, Ted's impressed. Couldn't help myself, I've had to chuck some bits on. Primarily the gearbox cross member. Hello, Ted. Yes, that bit, Ted. To make sure the chassis hadn't twisted. I wanted to make sure that it'd go in really easily, and it did. It pretty much just slotted in. Just had to, you know, just push it down with my foot, not tight. So hopefully it's not twisted. Well, I can pretty much guarantee if that's gone in dead easy, it hasn't twisted. And I've put some bump stops and things on, just stuff that's lying around. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to start pulling that rear axle off. I said turn this into a roller. The more bits we get back on this, the less I've got piled up around me. And I've got a needy dog. Hello, needy. You've got bits in your eye, mate. Yeah, so first bit. Oh, tell you what, guys, it's warm today. It's really humid. I've just taken the fuel tank out of the other truck and I put it straight into this chassis. I know that seems a bit odd, but it just saves me finding somewhere to put it. And we're going to move this chassis now over to where the truck is. So we can, I'm going to put the back axle on. Lloyd's going to give me a hand. Yeah, so most of that back axle is already undone, so I've just got to get it out from under there. They're not light either. Why is nothing light on Land Rovers? Ah, sweating. Like I said before, I'm going to start building minis. Everything's small on them. Well, it's just started raining again, guys, just for a change. But me and Lloyd put the chassis onto the trailer on our own. Just the two of us, me with my bad back. And Lloyd, he ain't little. He can lift most things. We cannot lift it off. Lloyd, how heavy is it?
You need 4 of me to lift this. This is crazy. It's heavy.
It is ridiculously heavy. And we can only put that down to the fact it's full of galvy. Literally, it must be full of galvy. So we're going to have to lift the back off with the engine crane. But no. There is just no chance we are lifting that. Certainly not off this trailer. I never get to say good me not, so. Okay, it's in the air. Now what do we do? It was your idea to lift it in the air. What do we do now?
Just pull it on that.
Well, if you lift the front, I'll push the what's it that way. Right, guys, I'm going to have to put you down because I need 2 hands for this. That is the world's worst position, but it's the only place I can find for you. Right, you lift the front, I'll push the...
That's easier.
Just hope the rope doesn't... Right, we're sort of off the trailer, that's as far back as we can go. And I've got the wheels wedged. Let your end down. Grab that side and try to rotate this. this wheel's called.
That's this.
Yeah, the engine stand, not the chassis. See that wheel's caught? Yeah, that was me. Right, if you don't lift your end again. That's about where it's going to have to live. Yeah. Damn, that's heavy. I can tell how much strain it's putting on the engine hoist now. So guys, just remember, when you've had your chassis dipped, it's going to be much heavier when it comes back. I would have filmed a bit more of this process, but it has chucked it down all afternoon. There's just been me and Lloyd here working on the truck, and literally the moment we started, it started raining. As you saw when we started getting the chassis off the trailer, that's when it started. And now the sun is out, but that's because I've finished. But we did get the back axle on. It's not all tightened up yet, but it is on. Everything lines up, everything seems to fit okay. So we're all good there. So tomorrow, finish putting the back axle on, I'm going to put the shocks on, run some of the lines in, all those sorts of things. And then it's a case of putting the front axle on, which I'm going to have to get off because it's still on the truck. And the back is still sitting on a block of wood on a jack because I can't be arsed doing anything about it tonight. The axle stands are there, but they're Bluetooth at the moment, so Bluetooth axle stands, do they work? We'll find out. Now I'll sort that out in the morning, I'll get it down onto the floor. So look at this, bloody sun's out. But this is looking good now. Let me get past here. There we go. There we go. I've got all the what is it, the sway bar to put on, shocks, all that stuff, just to get it out to the workshop. I'll get it all fitted. But man, that was a lot of work. You better be worth it, truck. Morning, guys. Oh, hello, Teddy. Jump down, Ted. It's not raining for a change, and I've got a pile of bits to put on. So I've just been in the workshop. Excuse me, I've got a sore throat today. Yeah, there you go. I've got a pile of bits out of the shed. I'm just going to put those on. Might as well, rather than, like I said before, them all piling up. I've got the ex-engineering anti-roll bar to go on, and the shocks, and that pretty much completes the back end. Then we're going to take the axle off. So I'm going to start with these shocks, I think. Needy. You're very needy. Oh, first job, I think is the easier one of the half a dozen I've got to do is put these shocks on. See if I've got to drill any of the galvi out of these bolt holes. Up to yet, I've only had to do the trailing arm ones. Been really lucky. Might not be so lucky with that one. Well, actually, that one's all right. No, there's galvi in that one, and there's something stopping that one. Go through the other way. No, we'll just have to drill that one, I think. And there's definitely something stopping that one. Just whack a 10mm drill through them. That's sorted that problem. There we go. I need the impact. See if this fits. Slowly pull the shock out. Slowly. There we go, it does fit. If I remember, they're a pain to do. Right, I'll get that started. I thought they were 17. They are 17. Is that not a 17mm socket? It is. Why does it not go on? Oh, it does. Of course, I'm stupid today. Definitely the quickest way of doing it. Finish that one with a ratchet, that's tight. I thought the battery's going flat on the impact, I think, because that wasn't that tight. Oh, my impact definitely needs charging, that's what it is. That's that done. Do the other side now. So I'm just starting to put the anti-roll bar on, and I've had to enlarge these holes, they were full of galvy. Now I'm hoping this is going to line up. Needy Ted's here. Hello, Needy Ted. Well, that lined up, so that's good. Yep, that's all going to work. So hopefully I moved these far enough back, because I had to do it with measurements, so I think I actually put an extra 5mm on. Still got the sore throat, guys. Needy Ted, go over there. Good boy. I'll drop the bolts in the other side, and then we'll see if we can get this anti-roll bar on. And see if we can get it to work. Because I found out why it wasn't working before, because it had all come loose while we were coming back from, well, that trip. Something else we'd broken. Well, we hadn't broken, but it had worked its way loose. So let me just carry on doing this, and I'll bring you back in a minute. Right, I'm going to loosely bolt all this together so that I can start swinging it into place. Now I may have to run and have a look at the other truck because I'm doing this from memory. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, I think they go on the inside. Let me just go and have a look at the other truck. I am correct. Oh, right. That's a long way to hold that up while you're doing that. I can't get it in on my own. Right, hang on, contortionism. That's not going to hold. I'm moving my feet before it lands on my legs. 17 mil. Over there. I can't believe that actually started. Can't hold it long enough while we get the other side hooked up. Anyone who does a lot of mechanicking knows you can use every bit of your body to be a prop. Wow. Okay, I'm going to bolt this up. I'll come back and show you when it's all back in the right places, because that arm's in the wrong place at the moment. So it'll need disengaging. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Well, that was a bit of a pain, but I managed to get that all back on. It all lines up, it's all actually all tightened up, which is good. And I also remembered to put on something that I forgot. The water separator. And it just fits. Come around this side. Through more luck than judgment, I actually just left enough under there to get the bolt in and get it tightened up. So that's a new water separator, well, new second-hand water separator, because mine's actually got that piece broken off and I had to modify it. So I can actually reconnect my pipes properly on mine now. So that's all done. So now got to concentrate on the front axle. I've still got to disconnect the brake pipes, which is what I'm going to do first, and try to get that out without this lot falling on me. Hooray! I could really do with doing this job without dying. Would be good. Well, I've had to cut through the brake pipes because they won't come undone, and they're copper. It wouldn't come undone without twisting it off, so I don't really want... I can take the fitting out after and just reflare the pipe. There's plenty of pipe, so I can fix that after. But it's just after 12 o'clock, it's about 12:30. I don't know if you can tell, it's just started to peak down again. Weather. Fed up with the weather. It's pretty much dinner time. Every day this week it's started raining. We have reached the heights of random sketchiness on getting this axle out. I'm not getting under that truck because I'm expecting it to hit the floor at any point when we're pulling this axle out. It's not my finest moment. Well, I've got 4 axle stands, 2 jacks, a scaffolding board. Once this axle's out, I can actually almost put it completely on the floor. I just need to be able to get under it to undo the body bolts, that's it. So I just need enough clearance to get this axle out. Wow, madness. This would have been really easy on a 2-post lift that I don't have. It's at this point you think, should I have a beer before I do this? Doesn't make it any safer, it just means you're careless. Oh man, let's get it out. I hadn't got the camera on, guys. And you just missed all the sketchiness. Not intentionally, I'd forgotten to put it on, didn't think it'd happen that fast. We ended up cutting some cribbing to put the truck on. Lloyd now does not want to go anywhere near any of it. That axle's not attached, it's just sitting on this jack. It's just up in that corner. It needs to be pulled out. That's it. Very carefully though, because you're wobbling the truck. Lloyd's running away because he can hear the blocks of wood cracking.
It's not on the jack anymore.
It is on the jack, but it's stuck in the hole in the chassis where it goes through for the trailing on. The bit you were just pulling at. That one's out. Now we're just going to get that one out. That's the wood cracking again, right? Don't be afraid. You may be turning those scaffolding boards into splinters. That's out now. Hang on, let me pull the jack. Let me move some of this out the way. Now I'm going to say, don't try this at home. Hang on, we're doing this at home. Damn, we tried it at home. Well, it's out, but now we need to get the truck lower to the ground. that cribbing's still cracking under the weight. Not sketchy at all. Well, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. Now, axle's out. Truck's now completely Bluetooth. Let me just get this off the tripod. It's sitting on that at the moment. I do need to take this engine out. That would take a lot of weight off it. Right, I'm going to go around and check this because those scaffolding boards there keep cracking as it's pushing the axle stands into them. So, but yeah, that's now out. It's now got to go in there, which will be less sketchy than taking it out. There's someone who's not happy. He's not getting near any of that. Well, me and Lloyd have spent the last, what, hour lowering that to the floor. It's now nice and solid. Well, it's that solid we've let Ted back out, so it's not going anywhere. Canopy's sitting on the legs, so that also isn't going anywhere. The only thing is, when we were lowering it down, we weren't watching the angle, and it started to push the canopy backwards. It's tried to rip one of the riv nuts out here. So that'll have to be drilled out and replaced. So we're just putting the axle onto the chassis now, and then we're going to call it a day. Wow, definitely going to call it a day. You guide, I'll shovel it round. Well, that's got to be a bit closer. Oh, my rings fell out. No? Are we not winning?
It needs lifting up from the front. I'll lift this up.
No, because you're still lifting that, so all you're doing is pulling that side out. No. No, put it down. Let's just put a bolt and a washer on this side. Yeah, it's me mud shields again getting abused. Not now, the weight of the chassis on it. No. Huh. This is the most awkward way we could do this. No, that didn't help. No, that didn't help either. I don't need to do that, I can just lift that. Really needs a trolley jack under it, but we need to lift it to do that. And we need another engine crane for that.
Can't get to it.
I know. So to pull the axle in place, rather than mauling and buggering around like we were, a couple of ratchet straps. Just pull the axle into place to get the radius arm bolts started. And once you've done that, the rest of it's dead easy. You're only got to put the springs and the wheels on, shocks. Oh God, we've got so much to put on. It's not so easy. It's officially a roller. Look at that, all the wheels are on. It's going to be a big beast. Tell you what, that has been a job. That has been a hard slog all day, and a fairly dangerous one in some places. Would have been dead easy with the 2-post lift. Tell you, just lift the body off, lift the frame off the axles, roll everything back under, dead easy. Do it on your drive, on the ground, not a fun job. Not one I want to do again. I will never do this again unless I've got a lift. Just won't. I'm just too old for this now. I'm gonna definitely get a place with the 2-post lift, to tell you. But anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. In the next episode, we're going to put the engine in. Well, we're going to take the engine out of the old chassis, which I've been saying we've been going to do all the way through, and we still haven't done it, but now I've got somewhere to put it. So engine out, gearboxes into this chassis, build up the front shocks. I've still got to weld a reinforcing bar on this. It's dead easy to do, I can do it in place. We'll do all that in the next episode. So if you've enjoyed it, guys, give us that thumbs up, check out the merch store below, and I will see you on the next one.